Hey guys, I'm Carly from All the Pretty Books. I apologize that it's been a little bit longer than I'd planned on since my last video. The last day in London, which was the day before I came home, I started to feel a little bit under the weather, and then the day that I came home, and then the day after, I progressively started to feel worse. And the friend that I was traveling with also felt kind of terrible, and turns out we both kind of had what I would call pretty gross head colds. But now I'm on the mend. I'm still kind of low on energy, but I'm feeling much better. Just still kind of trying to take it easy, but I'm real excited to make this video. I have so many things to tell you, and I have so many things I feel like I'm just so behind. I have so many wonderful stories from my vacation, as you know, or maybe some of you who don't. I went to London, Paris, and Cologne, Germany, which I'd been through Cologne before, like just on a train, like the train just literally went through the area, but we didn't stop. Paris, I've been through loads of times. It's my favorite city. London's my second favorite city, and I've also been to quite a few times. I'm very fortunate there. And it was great to get to go back. And I have so many things. I would like to make a video on just like my trip itself because it was so much fun, and I got to do some really fun Harry Potter things and just some really fun things in general. And of course, I don't know, this world is just phenomenal sometimes. I know that there's a lot of hard things that are going on, but there's also so many great people involved too. Like there really are. I met some phenomenal people while I was away, and I don't know. The world can be also just really, really good. And I just really got to, it was great getting to get out and meet new people and hang out with a friend of mine who I met actually 10 years ago on Instagram of all places. Stayed in contact over the years and met up over the years, and now it was my turn to go over to her part of the world because she lives over in the UK. And we just had a great time. I cannot stress how much fun it was and how refreshing it was to get a vacation. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I could go on and on and on, but I have great books to tell you about today. But before I do that, for those who are new to my channel, hello again. I'm Carly from All the Pretty Books, like I said when I introduced myself. I've been collecting Harry Potter books since around 2009. I started collecting rare and signed Harry Potter books then, branched off into translations around 2014, and now I co-host the Harry Potter podcast called Dialogue Alley, and with Melanie, Eric, and sometimes Peter, and we have so much fun, and I'll put links down below. For those who are coming back to my channel, y'all are great. I appreciate your support, and I always enjoy our conversations. So anyway, I thought I would tell you about the new German books. They are not the only books that I brought back. I brought back so many more books. I had so much fun. But anyway, the new German books are phenomenal. Carlsen Verlag is the publisher. They've been the publisher since 1998 of the Harry Potter translations, and their books never disappoint, in my opinion. They are always phenomenal. So that's going to be what we talk about, and I'm also going to tell you about the gotcha story because it's really, really fun. So before I show you book one, which I already unwrapped because I thought I was recording and I wasn't, so I already told this story, so I'm going to do it again. How the trip to Germany even came to be is we were chit-chatting. Originally, I was going to fly into London. We were going to meet up in London. We were going to take the channel up into Paris, spend a couple days in Paris, take the channel back into London, spend a couple days into London, I fly back home. And we were chatting, and she was like, you know, the German Harry Potter books will have just come out. What about going to Germany to buy the books? That's a brilliant idea, we both decided, because train tickets really aren't super expensive, probably. So we started looking around, and we looked for the cheapest ticket from Paris into any German city. We didn't have a preference on German city. We just wanted any German city on the Eurostar. And she found us tickets into Cologne, and that's what we did. And so that's how we wound up in Cologne. We didn't have a preference over whatever city we wound up in, and I happened to really enjoy getting to go to this city. It was so very charming. The people were phenomenal, so friendly. We got to go to the Lindt Chocolate Museum and Factory. It was delicious. It was such a Willy Wonka experience. I highly recommend, if you're going to be going anywhere in that area, you go check that out. It was, I think, €16 per person for the tickets. So worth it. They have a cafe. Wonderful things. They have of course they have a gift shop. Really, really good prices. I could have spent so much more money. I did not. I controlled myself. Really good chocolate. You got to sample things along the way in the tour. It was really neat. They got to show you so many different things. I learned a lot about Lindt. I already really liked the company. Now I really love the company. I can't say enough about it. But anyway, back to the books. I got sidetracked. I really like chocolate. Anyway, we got to Cologne, and we went to this great bookstore in the Neumarkt area, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing all of these words. I don't speak German. But we went to this great bookstore called Thalia, and it was multiple floors. They had a great Harry Potter display. And everyone, the workers there were so friendly. They were so helpful. I don't know. I would really love to get to go and spend a lot more time in this city. I really enjoyed myself. I was so excited. The books themselves are so much prettier in person. The pictures, the videos do not do the books justice. I can't say that enough. If you collect Harry Potter translations, if you collect Harry Potter covers, if you just like different looking Harry Potter books, but you don't necessarily collect translations or cover art, but you like different looking covers, let's say. This is Harry Potter und der Stein der Weisen, which is book 1. Very beautiful cover art. I can't say enough about it. All 7 books were illustrated by George Katsoudas. It's the first time he's ever worked for Carlsen Verlag, who again is the publisher of these books and have been since '98. Phenomenal work. And I'll put a link to his other work down below. He's super talented. I'll also put his information on my website as well, alltheprettybooks.net, and I'll put that information down below as well. The color palette on this book, I love the rich colors. I love the gold foiling for Harry Potter und der Stein der Weisen and Carlsen down at the bottom here. I love how we've got like tinges of, it looks like it's almost like dusk or something, because we have like golden hour hues going off over here in the distance that we don't see. I love all the blue. Blue is my second favorite color anyway, so I'm quite partial, but I think it goes really, really well with the rich kind of maroon color. I love the rich colors here that are used. I think it goes so well with the gold. And I love how the illustrator renders light here. And I like the blue in the sky. I think it goes so well with the blue architecture here, which kind of around here, sorry, I'm looking at it. And we see Hogwarts Castle here way in the background. And we have some clouds, and we've got some owls up here. And the back as well is also a treat for the eyes, as is the spine. The illustrator did not leave anything unillustrated. Everything is something, if that makes sense. Everything is a treat. And back here we have where they're on the boats going over to Hogwarts for their first time, which I think is neat. And again, we have lots of gold foiling. The book texture itself is very buttery soft. It's not the kind of buttery soft that I see leaving a lot of smudges though, which I really, really like. So again, Carlsen Verlag just seems to have excellent quality in everything that they do. The end papers are wonderful. And the boards of the books themselves, very, very nice. Very, very good board. Very nice quality. They're bound very well, which, again, Carlsen does really nice work. The books themselves feel like they could be read. When you're flipping through book 1, you can open it, and it'll open while you read without really kind of putting in a spine lean while you read. So they'll stand up to multiple readings pretty well, which I do like. If you bought these to read, they'll be read very beautifully. I don't feel like the gold, I mean, I feel like at some point it could start to scratch off if you went through like with a nail and like deliberately scratched it off, but I think it would take some work. Each book, as you'll see as we go through them, has a character on the spine, which I think is really fun. Book 1 has McGonagall, which I think is a great character for spine 1. We also have the key up here, and we have the author's name, and we have a unicorn down here, and then the publisher. And again, just very, very eye-catching. And what I really do like is how different these are from the, again, deliciously wonderful 20th anniversary books illustrated by Jacopo Bruno, and I'll show those at the end of the video, because again, his 20th anniversary illustrations are also phenomenal. Again, Carlson, great work. And then Sabina Wilhelm, illustrator before Jacopo Bruno. She's the one who did pretty much 1998 through pretty much everything until the 20th anniversary illustrations by Jacopo Bruno. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful cover art all the way through, in my opinion. And great, great quality on all books so far. On the title page, we have, again, the floating, or the flying key, which I like. For the chapter art, we also have the flying keys, which I think is neat. No real internal illustrations, which I don't, other than the illustrated German books, I don't really know of any real illustrations within the German books. I know Italian, like I showed you with my previous video, which I know I said I would do book, Italian book 2, and then I went out of town. That came up much quicker than I thought it would. I always think I'm going to have more time. So I will show you Italian book 2. The illustrations in that book are really, really, really fun. So I have to show you that. But I don't know any German books other than the illustrated that have internal illustrations. But if you do, please let me know. So anyway, that was book 1. Book 2, super phenomenal. And the cover art, the front cover art of book 2 has a brand new scene that we have not had before on any book cover around the world to date that I'm aware of. Super, super exciting. I love this one. So this cover art actually features a scene from the Death Day Party, which rarely gets talked about. It is one of my more favorite moments from book 2. Book 2 is not one of my favorite books of the series. It's probably one of my least favorite books of the 7, if not my least favorite. But there's some really, really stellar moments in there, and the Death Day Party is definitely one of those stellar moments. And I love seeing it get attention, especially wonderfully illustrated attention. And this doesn't disappoint. If you like to collect unique cover art moments or unique moments from the books that aren't really present on other covers, this one's for you. It's not on other covers, definitely not on other covers. And it is so well thought out. We have Harry, Ron, and Hermione, of course, and we can see all the different cobwebs. We have the ghosties. We have, gross looking food. You can definitely tell it's a Death Day Party. It is, Harry looks intrigued. Hermione looks intrigued. Ron does not. Cobwebs and, torches, and it just looks like quite a scene. And it carries over into the spine itself, like all the way over here, which I think is really neat. The spine character is Dumbledore and Fawkes, it looks like. And then, I don't like that we have a spider here at the bottom, which makes sense because Aragog, but I'm still not a fan because I'm super arachnophobic. Up here, it looks like we may have some Skelegro potion on the spine top where the flying key was, and then the author's name. And again, lots of gold, and kind of a periwinkle blue, kind of grayish periwinkle blue. And on the back, we have the flying Anglia. Again, lots of gold foiling. Again, such a treat for the eyes. And I love that the illustrator included the Ford Anglia flying over Big Ben. I know Big Ben is technically the chime in the clock, but I was just there in London not like last week, and I got to hear the Big Ben actually chime, and such wonderful fun times, you guys. It's really hard to be back home, but I'm also really glad because I get to hang out with my dog and my friends and my books. And we have the same end papers. The end papers are going to be all the same colors for all 7 books, which I kind of wish they would have used different colors, but at the same time, I also really like the continuity using the same color for all end papers as well, because it is a really pretty color one, and it goes so well with the gold foiling, and I think it kind of ties all 7 books really well together. I think it's the Skelegro. It's the skeleton. I can see it a lot better here. It was a bit hard to see in the light here with all the gold foiling, but on the title page we can actually see it says Skelevax, which I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, I don't really read some German, but it's got a skeleton or a skull at the top of the bottle, and it says Skelevax, so it could be Skelegro potion, which would also make sense for book 2, given all that goes on. Oh, such a fun book. And I also like how the illustrator has picked out unique things here to include. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Wonderful, wonderful color palette. I love how the trees themselves are kind of like a purpley brown with all the green. Green is my absolute favorite color, which I've said multiple times. So everything green catches my attention. And this book is no different. We have lighter very different colors of light green in through here, dark green up and through here, which I think goes so well with kind of the purpley brown that was used on the trees, which goes so well again with the gold foiling on the title. And we've got Carlson down here at the bottom where we have kind of like purpley brown stones here under the green grass where the students are standing. And of course Hagrid is looking up at Buckbeak with Harry on him flying away. And I really like this. There's a lot of movement in this scene. The students are looking up. Malfoy looks mad. And which, I mean, he should. We can tell that the forest itself is pretty dark, but there's, a clearing that Buckbeak is able to fly through because we can see the sun peeking through, even though the trees are pretty dense. We can see from the top up here. And I just love the colors used for the forest and the trees here. I think it is so much fun. I like the vivid colors used for the scarves and the clothes. I like how everybody's wearing like pointed wizard hats, which I think is really fun. I love the color of Buckbeak's wing, I think, and how it is very winged out. I think it is very elegantly illustrated here. And I love the tree branches here interconnecting, creating kind of an arch over Buckbeak. I think that's also quite elegant. And it also creates a nice little box for the Harry Potter title. The spine itself is, of course, wonderful. The spine character is, interestingly, Trelawney. There are so many other characters that I think could have been great spine characters, but, Trelawney also fits. We have a stag, Patronus, down here at the bottom for the character. And then at the top, we have the Time Turner. And, of course, the author's name, publisher's name here down at the bottom. And then the back, we have the delightful night bus. I love the night bus. And a lot of wonderful gold foiling and a lot of beautiful green. Just delightful. And again, you have that wonderful in paper color. And Time Turner on the copyright page. So again, so well thought out. I can't say enough wonderful things about these books. Book 4. And we have Harry with his dragon at the Triwizard Tournament. Task 1. So we see the Hungarian Horntail. Very mad, very angry. Very, very dark colored. We see the golden egg, which is highlighted fairly well against the black of the dragon. And this is very differently color palette, or the color palette is very different than the first three books, in that the first three books are, there's a lot of blue in books 1 and 2. Book 2, you have kind of a lot of blue and brown. Death Day Party, that makes sense. And then book 3, there's a lot of colors, as I just showed you. Book 4, there's a lot of browns and blacks, gold, orange. They're at the Triwizard tournament, so there's, quite a lot going on. But you see it from Harry's backside. He's peeking through. You see, like, the curtains are pulled back. Harry's peeking through. He's looking at the dragon, probably going, what have I got myself into, kind of thing. And it's kind of a darker thing, but I like the colors used for this book specifically because book 4 is where things start to get much darker. Book 3, things do get darker. We learn quite a bit. We meet a lot of new characters that we really do start to enjoy. But book 4, there's a lot of, especially at the end, book 4 is where things get a lot darker for the whole series and sets up pretty much the whole rest of the series pretty well. So I really like that darker colors are used here. I think it's a way of telling the reader that things are going to be heavier without giving necessarily anything away on the cover. If you haven't read the books at all, you were just to see this, it looks pretty exciting. It's going to be exciting. I mean, there's a dragon, there's probably an egg if you don't know what it is. There are looks like stands and standards, and definitely standards going on here, crests and all this stuff. I mean, it looks very, very pomp and circumstance kind of stuff, very regal. So if you haven't read it before, you would at least think something very exciting is going on, which it is, but it's also quite, dark compared to the other 3 books, the first 3 books. So I really like the colors that are used. It sets it sets the tone without giving things away, which I do like. I also really like how the illustrator used the colors for the fire down here and how it highlights Harry down here with the fire. I think that is very, very cleverly done. And again, I think the black up here really highlights the gold foiling so very well. On the spine, we have a much lighter brown. It's kind of like a light milk chocolate brown. The spine character looks to be Mad Eye Moody. We have the Goblet of Fire up here, the author's name, and then a mermaid down here for the character and the publisher. Very cool. And then I love this. On the back, we have the Durmstrang ship. I love that the illustrator included that because it's not always done. And then you also have the Beauxbaton carriage being drawn by the horses, which again, not always done. I love that those were included because that's where we get the rest of the competitors for the Triwizard tournament, right? Right. Again, same wonderful end papers and great quality book. I'm really pleased. And book 5 has a brand new moment that we've not seen on any other book that I don't think at all, in all of the different Harry Potter translations around the world ever. It is all 3 going down into the ministry in the phone box. And I'm so excited. It is, again, very different. I love that the illustrator picked this one. Picked this moment. We can see different paper airplanes going around delivering different memos because again they can't use owls because owls got messy and all. I love that you can see the phone box coming down. You can see the Ministry of Magic is depicted. I love that. The phone box is so brightly red and the rest of the ministry is just kind of these nice different pastel colors. I like that. And again, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, of course, German title, is in this nice kind of very deep brownish color, I would say. Really great colors used. Again, really, really well thought out colors. And even on the paper airplanes delivering all the different memos, all different colors. Just little pops of color throughout. The lanterns that are kind of floating, different colors throughout. The different columns are actually the two main columns on the cover. Add nice little framing. And same for the wizard or the wizard's silhouettes down here at the bottom. Very, very nicely done. The spine character is, of course, Umbridge. She is a very fitting spine character. And I really like his Umbridge. You don't get to see Umbridge too often. The most salient one to me that comes to mind is, of course, the original Finnish Umbridge from book 5 cover. She's very toad-like. And up here under the author's name, we have it looks like a prophecy from the Hall of Prophecies. And on the back, we have Luna in the carriage with the Thestrals reading the Quibbler. I love that. So many new moments. So much fun. So this is book 6, obviously. And this moment we've seen on other book 6s, but I really like the colors that are used. It's very, very vibrant, very, very bright, fiery, yellowy orange against some really, really deep purpley black. So it really stands out so well. Differently than the others do, especially with the gold foiling up here and the very deep black here in the middle. And how Dumbledore's beard is glowing. That especially helps everything else stand out. The way the illustrator does use light and different lighter colors to make dark figures stand out or help other things stand out is very, very well done, I think. And we have Harry down here in, and mostly black with some reflection, but he's in kind of where those gross things are in the lake. And the lake itself is very reflectively kind of like in person, it's kind of a purpley down here at the bottom, but it kind of turns purpley reddish fiery color because of what Dumbledore is doing. And again, it sets Harry apart so well from the rest of that image. Again, you have a nice frame going on with the columns. The illustrator is very good about doing that to set the different artwork apart in the cave. And so well done. I really do like it. It's not my favorite of the 7, but I also really do appreciate it. And on the back, Hogwarts Express at Caboose. So, and again, more gold foiling. And I really do like this purple. It's a deeper purple. I don't know how well it'll show up on camera, but it is kind of a deep lavendery purple. And it looks so nice with the gold foiling. On the spine, we have Snape, Centaur, Publisher, Half-Blood Prince book, which makes sense, and the author's name. Well done, George. And this one, book 7, I really, really do enjoy. And we have Harry, Ron, Hermione on the dragon escaping Gringotts. And again, we have the columns putting a frame around what's going on in the main image. And we have the black with the gold foiling on top. Lots of gold down here. It's not gold foiling, but we have the gold collar, not gold foiling, just kind of a goldish color. Lots going on the dragon. I really do like this illustrator's dragon. I think I like how different it is from the other illustrator's dragons that we've seen so far. I do like that. I like how dynamic this scene is, and I like how this illustrator shows movement. We can see this column collapsing. It's very broken right here. You can see that it's going to be falling. You can see that there's a lot of quick things going on. They're grasping for itself. You can see the dragon's hair, being whipped back. So it's going to be moving very fast up. So lots going on. And I like that. I like how you can see the marbled of the white columns and the marbling kind of color going on up here. So it's not a pure white going on. I really do like that. And I like how the gold foiling looks down here with the Carlson as well. On the spine, we have Voldemort, which is a very fitting spine character. The Deathly Hallows, and of course, Nagini. And I love the back image. We have Harry and Hagrid there on the motorbike. And of course, lots of stunning, stunning gold foiling against the dark black. It really is, these books really are a treat for the eyes, you guys. They really are. And I understand that not everybody can afford all 7. They are somewhat expensive. Book 7 is 28 euros before shipping. But if you can only afford one, pick the one that you love the most and grab it. And if you would like, put the rest on your Amazon wish list. I know collectors that are doing that, have done that already. Book 1 is 18 euros. So 10 euros difference between book 1 and book 7. So if you only can afford one, get the one that you like the most. Put the rest on an Amazon wish list if you would like. That's definitely an idea. You can get them, I believe, on Amazon DE, which is Amazon Germany. I have bought lots of things off of Amazon Germany over the years and never had a problem. And they tend to have pretty reasonable shipping into the US. So anyway, I can put the link down below. I do not know of a box set at this time. I do not know of plans for a box set at this time, but Carlsen Verlag has certainly come out with box sets after all 7 books. They did that with the 20th anniversary books, illustrated by Jacopo Bruno. So I would not be surprised, given the popularity of these, if a box set were to come out. I would not be upset, simply because the gotcha story and how all of this came to be was so much fun for me. And I probably would just forego the box set unless the box set were stellar, and then I would bite my lip and forget I saw it. But at this time, no box set. But I will put the link for Amazon DE down below, just for the regular Amazon DE, and then you can just go shopping. Sometimes you have to put in like the Harry Potter title, or Harry Potter, like book 1 is Harry Potter und der Stein der Weisen. And I'll put a link for that down below, and then you can just, shop from there essentially. But really great books. I know these are the newest books that Carlsen Verlag has produced, but I don't want people to forget about all the rest of the phenomenal books that Carlsen has put out, because they've worked with some incredible illustrators over the years, and they have produced some other incredible books over the years, and they all, I think, deserve to be recognized for being amazing. Published in 2023, the 25th anniversary edition. This book right here is all 7 books. It weighs all the pounds, and it has unique cover art, and it is phenomenal. I did a video on this. I will try to find the link and put it below. This box set here is the one that I've mentioned a few times, illustrated by Jacopo Bruno. It is the 20th anniversary edition, and the books are phenomenal. Again, each book is a treat for the eyes. This box set right here is also referred to as the Rainbow Box Set by collectors. I have done a video on it, but it was a few years ago now. I will try to find the link and put it down below. I don't think I've put it on my website. If I did, I don't think I did though. But I will try to get it added at some point soon. These images are illustrated by Sabina Wilhelm, who was the first illustrator that Carlsen worked with when they first started publishing the Harry Potter translations. And there are so many more German editions, you guys. These don't even scratch the surface. To give you an idea, I have several shelves of German translations, you guys. Several. And several is an understatement. The German Harry Potter books have so many different editions, and I think they're also phenomenal. And the latest edition that was just published is a long line of phenomenal translations published by Carlsen Verlag. And I'm quite pleased to have gotten them. I'm quite pleased to have been able to go to Germany to get them. I have been very fortunate to have traveled quite a bit, but back when I was traveling quite a bit, I was really only collecting rare and signed books, not translations. So I passed many translations in the wild. I have so many funny stories where I could kick myself in the pants now. But, past me just didn't know what I would be doing now. I was so pleased to actually get to go and buy a translation as a translation collector. I haven't got to do that. So that was super, super fun. And I did that a few more times with a few other translations, which was also super fun at different bookstores. One in London. I bought a Danish translation in London, which was really fun. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I hope y'all are having a great day. I've got so much content to make you guys. I'm finally feeling better. I feel so behind. I hope y'all are doing so well. And if y'all have any questions about collecting Harry Potter books, don't hesitate to reach out. I always look forward to your questions, and I really do enjoy answering you guys. I will put my contact information down below, the podcast information down below, links where you can find the new German editions down below, and I will try to get them added to my website if they are not. With that being said, I hope y'all are great. Thanks for watching. Y'all are magical. And as always, happy collecting and good night.